A small, forgotten town lived an ancient circus that had long since closed its doors. The tents were torn, the rides rusted, but what everyone remembered was the clown Boozzo. Unlike the joyful, bumbling character that clowns usually play, Boozzo was different. He never smiled. His painted grin was stretched unnaturally wide, and his eyes, too real, too human, followed you even when you weren't looking. Decades ago, the circus abruptly shut down after a series of strange disappearances. Kids went missing, their laughter fading into echoes. The last anyone saw of them was when Boozzo led them to his tent, promising to show them a special trick. Legend had it that Boozzo didn't just perform, he fed. The laughter of children kept him alive. But when the circus closed and his supply of joy ended, Boozzo grew restless. Starving. Now, the circus grounds were forbidden. Anyone who dared approach claimed to hear soft giggles in the wind or a faint honk of a clown's nose. But the worst was the night when 3 teenagers dared to explore the old tents. They snuck in, armed with flashlights, and found the eerie remnants of the circus. But it was Boozzo's tent that drew them in, the faded sign reading, "Free show inside." They laughed nervously, daring each other to step in first. Inside, dust swirled, and the air smelled of rot. The spotlight flickered on its own, illuminating the center of the room where a large jack-in-the-box sat. "Wind it," one whispered, trying to sound brave. As one of the teens wound the handle, the familiar tune played, slow and haunting. Just as the melody was about to reach its climax, the box popped open, empty. The lights went out, plunging them into darkness. Their flashlights flickered back on, but one of the friends was gone. No sound, no struggle. Panicked, they ran toward the exit. But the tent stretched endlessly in every direction. The walls now seemed alive, shifting and closing in. Laughter echoed, high-pitched, gleeful, and growing closer. Then they saw him. Boozzo stood in the distance, motionless. His hollow eyes glinted in the dim light. Slowly, his head tilted, and his painted grin seemed to widen, cracking at the edges. He began to move, but not like a person, jerky, mechanical, like a marionette controlled by invisible strings. They ran, hearts pounding. But the closer they got to the exit, the louder the laughter grew, and the tighter the air became. One by one, the teens vanished, pulled into the shadows by unseen hands, until only one remained. Gasping for breath, she stumbled and fell. As she looked up, Boozzo towered over her, his dead eyes staring down. He leaned in close, his breath cold against her skin, and whispered, "The show must go on." The next morning, authorities found the girl's body outside the tent, her face frozen in a scream, but her lips, painted red like a clown's, were twisted into a smile.